Do you feel like you have 8 offensive linemen that you feel pretty good about heading into the season?
Yeah, those guys have battled. I think our strength is in. I would say our strength is in numbers there. I do. I think we got 3 tackles that'll go in and play, and Tyler Beach and David Mormon's ready to go, and he's holding down some roles in tight end as well, and at guard, I feel good about 3 guys right now, in Erdman and Seltzner and Lyles, and Erds will back up center, so it's a little bit lighter than it appears, and that's the group. Furtney's coming along pretty good. He'll be close. He's got a club on his wrist. I hope that he can get that off before he gets rolling. But I like that group, and we got to keep growing as the year goes on. But I like them.
Joe, when you've been in practice and you've seen the defense going up against your offense every day, are there signs that you notice where you feel like that group collectively have taken some steps forward?
Yeah, I do, man. I really like that group of guys. I like the way they're working. Really like the defensive line, how they're playing. Especially when they got all their guys going. But from the defensive backs to the linebackers, the whole group, I think they've really taken some steps.
Joe, do you think this offense might be able to hurt teams in different ways this year than it did last year? I know the guys have talked about vertical throws down the field. You've got quarterbacks who are a little more mobile in that as well.
Yeah, we're going to have to do it a little bit. Right now we're a little light at tight end position. Obviously, really excited about Ferg, but he's one guy right now. So I think we're going to have to use our imagination a little bit, and we do have some playmakers. I'm excited about that at every position. So I think the best way we use that and utilize that is sometimes different personnel groups is what backs up personnel. So everyone's got to be ready.
You mentioned Ferg. When camp was still open, we saw obviously Rucci go down and Cundiff go down. Are those guys back at practice now, or are they still?
They aren't just yet. No.
Okay.
No. So they wouldn't be on the trip.
Okay, so obviously a guy like Eschenbach, I'm sure you're not going to ask him to go block a defensive end, but can he help you?
I don't know.
Well, can he help you a little bit in the
depends.
passing game?
Yeah, he's a young kid that's coming along. He got a lot of valuable reps. I like him, man. I liked him from the day he walked in the door. And you know what? Sometimes that happens. Sometimes you throw a guy into the mix, and all of a sudden, this guy that looked nervous and shaky, he somehow gets it done and gets some confidence from that. And I really like the way he's progressed, And is he there yet? No, but a lot of us had to go out there and play before we were ready. And if that's the case, he'll step up. He'll step up and battle for us. I'm sure of that.
Would he make the trip?
I think he would, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You mentioned Mormon before. Do you need guys like that, just that kind of you can put different places and flexibility?
Guys that are smart, guys that understand football, guys that work at it and get like, okay, I gotta leave this meeting and really understand what I need to do. I can't be on the field asking questions or trying to figure it out when everyone else is repping. He's into it, man. I like I said, I love him. What he brings to this team's immeasurable, and he's doing a great job. He's gonna help us in a lot of ways this year.
Joe, do you think Jack has done a more consistent job of connecting on shots down the field, and also, he was a young quarterback last season, thrust into a difficult role. Did that make it harder to try that last season? Yeah,
I think there's always a nervousness when you first start to play, and I think there's even more when you might play, you might not play. And really that was kind of what led into a lot of his early playing time. So I think it helps you to settle down, knowing kind of what your role is going to be walking into the game, and you're prepping for it that week. And it showed in the bowl game. But I've seen him make a lot of strides. I think Johnny's done a great job with him, helping him. He's done a great job, really showing that confidence, leading the quarterback room. So I think all that is showing in his play.
I'm sure ideally you'd like to be balanced as possible. Did you see in camp signs that made you optimistic you can achieve that this year?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we have to be. I think if your personnel groups get lighter, you better be. I think there's easy ways to take away runs at times, and I think we got to be able to answer that. But I'm excited about it too. I think we got guys that can deliver the ball. I know we got playmakers making catches. The receivers have done a great job. Ted's been awesome with them, but Seth's got the backs doing a great job in the passing game. So, that type of balance is what you need.
How has Quintez looked, since he's been back, and do you have any realistic number of snaps, he could handle, if he were to play on Friday?
I'd say by the work he put in this week, feel confident that he can handle some snaps for sure. And I really liked his approach, man. Like you could tell that there's a perspective that's different. There's an appreciation and a want-to and a focus that's there. And I think he'll not only help the receiver room and the offense, but I think he'll help the whole team with his way he approaches it,
You guys obviously have a lot of talented receivers, but what does he just bring to the table, and how does he change your offense just being in the game when he's back to his usual self?
Well, I'll kind of go back to where he kind of first made his mark, and that was being a physical player at the wide receiver position. And I think that's an edge not only for the room, but at times gave an edge to what we did offensively. And I think that's a credit to him because that's just a want-to at a position where sometimes you don't always have to show that. But I think that whole group has done a great job of showing that all spring. Him coming back should only add to that.
With Caden Lyles, I know we talked in mid-August about what you said about him kind of tightening his responsibilities.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
How did that, what did you see out of that last
He's
week?
gotten a ton better. Yeah. He's gotten a ton better at guard, and I keep continuing to see him grow and get better, but I think it's been a really good adjustment. I feel very confident with him if he was starting, and I felt like I told those guys, I felt like I got 3 starters. Doesn't matter who kind of rolls at the first snap of the game. They're all going to play a lot, and I think he's earned that. He's pushed himself into that role.
Cole and Jason are guys that probably don't get counted as returning starters per se, but they played a lot of football. Do you feel almost like they're guys
Yeah.
that
I
essentially
do.
returning starters?
I do. I know. I don't know what Cole's thing is. Maybe just a couple starts, but yeah, I feel that way, and he feels that way. I think he approaches it exactly like that. Jason, I think he knows, like he's smart. He gets it, and I think the best thing. This has been his best camp since he's been here. Even though he's flashed at times, his consistency. This has been the best he's been. So I really like it. And you talk about guys that because you need it around young guys, guys like Seltz and Brusser's got 3 starts, but a young guy, you know what I mean? Like a young guy that's still putting it together, and Beecher and Lyles. And so having some guys that have been out there in some big situations is pretty good.
With the fullback, what have you seen with John Chanel? I know he was his first team fullback, but him and Mason, how do you feel that you'll be able to use both of them coming up against South Florida?
You know what I really like what they've been able to do. Coach Sett's done a great job of getting them into different formations and some different spots. Things that, as we grew, we kind of felt comfortable with, like Alec Ingle doing. And Alec was easy to do that with. Everything he seemed to do, he made look good. Like, yeah, he can do that. Once you tried him there. And I think these guys have done a really good job of that. I think they'll complement each other. I think they'll both play a ton. I think them pushing each other is what helps. And I think having 2 fullbacks is kind of the key to that. So I like their development.
Adding Quintet certainly adds to the offense, but how much in a Carter wide receiver room now? How much could Aaron Cruikshank add to the passing game?
Crook's got great explosiveness. He's got great explosiveness, so there's no question. He can kind of be electric anytime he hits the field. But there's good competition, and it's good. It's going to be those reps are going to be earned in that room. So. Coach Gilmore said it the other day. He said depth is the coach's best friend, So guys are all working hard in that room to get on the field, and Aaron definitely can help us when he's out there. We saw that as a true freshman.